Ayo kawan kita kembangkan diri, profesi dosen dan ahli yang mandiri. Tingkatkan tridharma perguruan tinggi untuk membangun bangsa dan negara agar jaya di buana raya. Adri adalah perjuangan, Adri adalah jiwa kita, Adri hebat adalah nafas kita, Adri bahu-membahu saling membantu menjadi satu Indonesia maju. Adri adalah perjuangan, Adri adalah jiwa kita, Adri hebat adalah nafas kita, Adri bahu-membahu saling membantu menjadi satu Indonesia maju. Menjadi satu Indonesia maju.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to join this event in the economic, social, and health survival in new normal era. And then my topic will about the education and education technologies for a new era. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable President of Pathumthani University in Thailand, my professor, my colleagues, my teacher, and my beloved friends. And first of all, thanks for having me here in this fine and joyful morning. I hope we are all in the good health. As you know, in the pandemic, in the year COVID-19, today I will convey the importance of education in my short speech. On many occasions, we hear the term of education, but what is education, the importance of education, and how important education in the new era? Well, to answer the first question, education refers to process by which a person develops their skills, attitudes, and values. Many times, we associate this term with the school. However, we must also take into account that education is not exclusive to this institution, but also it is up to the family and even to the friendship with whom we live together day by day. That is why we can say that men can get to improve each other. There is a phrase that I like very much and I find it very true. If the people of a country care about their education, it shows that they love their nation. It is said that in order for a country to proper its education, by why the honorable audience, we study not to go to the graduation ceremony and hang our picture on the wall of our house, much less to show off to our friend. We study to practice and to acquire knowledge, and those two then will prepare us to the real life situation. Education brings us too many benefits, such as confidence in ourselves, freedom to decide, conscience as a whole, help us to improve ourselves, to feel fulfilled, to feel that we are something in life and that we have an end for which to live. But it is not the only satisfaction that education gives us, but with it we achieve the better quality of life. When we want to buy a dress, shoes, food, or anything else, we need work, which currently it is not so easy to find unless if we don't have an adequate education. It is the normal. But what about in a situation, a different situation with the new normal? Sometimes we feel our students have less learning, maybe as a lost generation. So we have to know how to strategy to improving to completely the less learning in a new era. So I have 7 pillars in education. The first is like in USO. The USO, United States, will be explained about the 5 pillars. There is the learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, learning to be, and the last is learning to transfer oneself and society when an individual and group gain knowledge, develop skill, and acquire new values and result of learning. They are equipped with tools and mindsets for creating lasting change in organization, communities, and societies. And then the 6th pillar are we will implement it of the concept of education technology. Why? Because the role of educators now not only teaching, not only learning process, but we have to prepare as facilitator. You know, what is the facilitator? We have to facilitator in this area and in this era. As you know, all of our era are the digitalized information system and then distant learning, especially in this era is in pandemic COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, the honorable of participant, we have prepared to the strategy of facilities. As you know, the facilities of our learning, the facilities of our education, it is face-to-face or face-to-screen. Now, not only the school or institution have to prepare, have to facilitate this for the learning, but also the student have to facilitate this themselves to join in the learning. Why? Because the learning now not only face-to-face and then maybe blended learning. As you know, blended learning is maybe 40% in a face-to-face and 60% in distance learning or in the others with off learning. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, our ministry in Indonesia is called Nadiem Makarim. Dr. Nadiem Makarim is Education and Culture Minister. State that innovation and research are interrelated, stressing that efficiency, right on target, high leverage innovation in the priority in national research. So we can improving our concept, our innovation with the research, and it is 3 in 1. Besides, we have teaching, we have instructional, but also we have evaluation, and then we can research that activity, especially in education, is called of the action. There is the research action, and then after that we have to publishing of the result of our evaluation. So there is called in Campus Merdeka. What is the Campus Merdeka? Campus Merdeka has a policy. Students are allowed to take 3 out of 8 semesters to conduct immersive learning outside their major. For example, a research project, for example, a student exchange, for example, in intensive learning, etc., etc. This is a new policy in Indonesia. New policy is the answer to the flop innovation and research in supporting ecosystem. Yes, I am optimistic it will bring students and universities to get involved in research and technology. The policy met the positive fit from research, technology, and higher education. There is hopeful that researchers will be confident to conduct research based on their capacity without being burdened with financial administration. Ladies and gentlemen, and then the last of our strategy to the improving education for the future are how to make a suddenly management success. As you know, we have a plan, but the plan sometimes a long plan, and then we have a short plan, but sometimes it is not a do, it's not done. Why? Because the time, it is very, very important now. As you know, the era of pandemic COVID-19, the plan is very, very suddenly. The time is very, very suddenly, and nobody knows about that. When the COVID-19 start and when COVID-19 is end and finished. So we have to plan how to make a learning, how to make strategy of education, how to make a curriculum, and how to make a evaluation. They have to the one factor. The factor is that how to acceleration with the suddenly management and success. That is important one. So we have 9 pillars for the education, 7 pillars for the future education. So there is the first is learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, learning to be, learning transformation oneself and society, and then the implementation, learning with the education technologies, and then the last is how to improving our education with a suddenly successful management. That is the point of my tema, and then I do hope all of us can implementation that concept, and then in our campus in Universitas Ma'arif Simlatif or Umaha, we have implemented it about the 2 pillars. There is the first is the how to facilitate it of application computer, application digitalized, regulated with the interactive. So we have interactive with as a facilitation in ourselves, as a docent, as a lecturer, also as a student. We have the facilitation of the international or national webinar with learning, with Zoom, etc., etc. All of us, there is the important one is everybody, the academic civility have to plan, have to facilitate by herself, by himself. It is for student. Also, with the docent, with the lecturer, they have to facilitate themselves in order every time, everywhere we can make a learning, we can teaching, we can teach, and we can we can make evaluation around the place, not only in the room but also in the drive, and we drive when we in the market, etc., etc. Ladies and gentlemen, the honorable participant, the last is we have to collaborate with each other. The collaboration is every institution which they have studios, which they have schools, which they have laboratory of, which they have broadcasting. We have collaboration about it. And then we want to become one docent is lecturer, one docent which 1,000 student. It means as one lecturer with a 1,000 student. So although I'm live in Surabaya, in Universitas Maharimasin Latif, in Sidoarjo, East Java, Indonesia, I can teach with 1,000 directly. Yeah, directly. But we can arrange by copy, by record our video, and then we can explain to the others, which not only one classroom students, but also around the world. This is the need. There is important one for us. So I do hope our counterpart in this committee in Pathumthani University in Thailand, we can join, we can collaboration, become the consortium of distance learning around the world. And then after that, we can join about improving the material, improving the technologies, improving the system. And then automatically, international accreditation, we can prove it, we can arrange about that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. And then there is some state for me, ADRI Hebat. ADRI Hebat. ADRI is Association of Lecturer Republic of Indonesia, and I do hope all of the person as a lecturer can join us in our organization in Indonesia, but also in the other country. We have a representative ADRI in the others Indonesia. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning.